Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning to our witnesses who are testifying today. I want to thank each of you for being here to discuss a topic of grave importance to our national security. Earlier...
What's up, guys? True Crime King back. Alright, so unless you guys have been living under a rock for the last week or two, there has been some hearings on these UFO sightings. So, former military intelligence officer turned whistleblower David Grush has told House lawmakers on Wednesday that he had interviewed government officials, okay, government officials, not, police or some random people, okay, government officials who had direct knowledge of aircraft with non-human origins, okay? So, if anybody wants to try and say this is clickbait, okay, you're dumb, okay? And that so-called biologics were recovered from some craft, okay? Grush, who served for 14 years as an intelligence officer in the Air Force and National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, appeared before the House Oversight Committee's National Security Subcommittee alongside two former fighter pilots, okay? So these guys are actually have been doing this their whole careers, and two of them are actually fighter pilots. So they saw it with their own eyes, okay? Who had first-hand experience with unidentified aerial phenomena, okay? So that is the hearing we are about to listen to and react to, all right? So here we go.
A Chinese spy balloon was shot down off the coast of my home state of South Carolina. Since the Roswell incident in 1947, many Americans have wondered about the dangers of unknown objects crisscrossing our skies. Whether these are UAPs or weather phenomena, advanced technology from American allied or enemy forces, or something more out of this world. So my first question, I have several questions, and if we can just be quick on these first two, I'm going to ask each of you the same question, and then I'll get to each of you individually. The first one, when you reported your experiences with a UAP, did any of you face any repercussions with your superiors, yes or no?
No.
No. I've actually never seen anything personally, believe it or not. So.
All right. And then do you believe there's an active disinformation campaign within our government to deny existence of UAPs, yes or no?
I don't have an answer to that.
As previously stated publicly, yes.
I think previously with Project Blue Book, yes, but currently I don't speak for the United States government.
Okay, so they all agree that there is a government cover-up that is trying to suppress, this information on these, UFOs, right? We all know, a month or two ago, remember, there was a supposed crash that happened in Las Vegas, right? And then apparently two men, with suits on, went in, and there was a black SUV that was seen right in the area, right after, or right as this was all going on, right? And many are suspecting that maybe they went and retrieved the craft. And there's actual photos. Go take a look at my other video on it. The guy actually got 5 photos. And I don't know, they look pretty, if someone faked those photos, okay, they are serious professionals, okay? Just take a look for yourself.
Thank you. I have a few questions for Mr. Graves. What percentage of UAP sightings, in your belief, go unreported by our pilots?
This is an approximation based off of my personal experience speaking with a number of pilots, but I would estimate we're somewhere near 5% reporting perhaps.
So like 95% basically don't report seeing UAPs.
That's just my personal estimate.
Wow. So this fighter pilot is saying that he's estimating only 5% get reported. So when these guys are flying airplanes and they see something that they believe to be extraterrestrial or non-human, right? Only 5% of them are getting reported to their superiors. That's crazy, right? So obviously they must know or think that their superiors are just going to not do anything about it, or something, right? Or else why wouldn't they report it? I don't know. That's weird. Let me know what you guys think.
In the incident off Virginia Beach, do you believe the Navy took the danger to your aircraft seriously after it was reported?
Absolutely.
A few questions for Mr. Faber. As an expert naval aviator, have you ever seen an object that looked and moved like the Tic Tac UAP?
No.
Did the Tic Tac UAP move in such a way that defied the laws of physics?
The way we understand them, yes.
Many dismiss UAP reports as classified weapons testing by our own government, but in your experience as a pilot, does our government typically test advanced weapon systems right next to multi-million-dollar jets without informing our pilots?
No, we have test ranges for that.
It took over 15 years for your encounter with the Tic Tac to be declassified. Do you feel there was a good reason to prevent lawmakers from having access to this footage?
No, I just think it was ignored when it happened, and it just sat somewhere in a file. Never got reported.
In a drawer. It happens a lot up here. Shocker.
Yeah, and think about this for a second. I mean, the government has a lot of reasons to not publicly, say that aliens are flying around our skies or whatever you want to call them, right? I mean, number one, right? Religion, right? So if let's say you believe in God, right? And all of a sudden there's aliens, and for a fact there's aliens. I mean, it doesn't say anything about there being aliens or other planets in the Bible. Or maybe I missed that part. I don't know. Leave a comment. But number two, there could be mass panic, right? I mean, let's say there's aliens in Area 51, right? And they declassify everything, and they show us the aliens and the crafts, right? I mean, are people gonna all of a sudden panic and think that we're gonna be invaded or attacked, right? There's just so many scenarios that I think the government would obviously want this not to be public information, right? Again, let me know what you think.
Grush, a couple of questions for you too, sir, this morning. What percentage of UAPs do you feel are adequately investigated by the U.S.?
And real quick, I think, this is my opinion, I think it would be more likely that there is aliens or non-humans on other planets. It would be much more likely that there is, okay, than likely that there is not, okay? We have no idea how big space is. We have no idea how many planets there are, right? There's probably too many to count. So if humans are the only advanced life anywhere, that would be, to me, not as believable as there are more advanced civilizations out there. If that makes sense to you guys, right?
Of the 5% that are reported,
I can only speak for my personal leadership over at NGA. I tried to look at every report that came through that I could triage. So,
do you believe that officials at the highest levels of our national security apparatus have unlawfully withheld information from Congress and subverted our oversight authority?
there are certain elected leaders that had more information that I'm not sure what they've shared with certain Gang of Eight members or etc. But certainly, I would not be surprised.
Okay. You say that the government is in possession of potentially non-human spacecraft. Based on your experience and extensive conversations with experts, do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
Okay, so he didn't say no, right? He said he can't discuss it in a public setting, right? That means before he went to this hearing, his superior said, do not say publicly that there are 100% aliens or extraterrestrials, whatever you want to call them, right? Or he would have just said no, right?
Okay, I can't ask when you think this occurred. If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
And was this documentary evidence, this video, photos, eyewitness? Like, how would that be determined?
The specific documentation I would have to talk to you in a skiff about.
Gotcha.
Okay, so this guy, the head, whistleblower, former military intelligence officer, okay, with 15 years of service, okay, is admitting that we have biologics. That means we have alien spacecraft or non-human spacecraft from somewhere else, okay? The U.S. that's just a fact. It's a fact now, okay? There is no debating it.
So, and you may or may not be able to answer my last question, and maybe we get into a skiff at the next hearing that we have, but who in the government, either what agency, sub-agency, what contractors, who should be called into the next hearing about UAPs, either in a public setting or even in a private setting? And you probably can't name names, but what agencies or organizations, contractors, et cetera, do we need to call in to get these questions answered, whether it's about funding, what programs are happening, and what's out there?
I can give you a specific cooperative and hostile witness list of specific individuals that were in those.
And how soon can we get that list?
I'm happy to provide that to you after the hearing.
Super. Thank you. And I yield back. Mom, don't forget.
Wow. Okay. So, I don't know. That's hard to, what, are we going to say that this guy's lying, right? I mean, what would he gain from lying, right? About this, right? What would this, he's losing his career, right? What would David Grush gain from lying about this, right? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, he's losing more than he's gaining. He's losing his entire career, right? Just to tell the truth. At least, I believe it's the truth. I mean, it just doesn't make sense why he would go through all this trouble. And it's not just him, right? It's him. It's two other fighter pilots. Okay, and there's many other military experts and people who have served that say the same thing, right? And it's just now starting to come out. I mean, millions of people have seen this hearing already, okay? And it's just a matter of time, I think, before everything comes out, right? But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. And until next time, True Crime King, out.